The Gary Henderson Show is brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, Papa John's, Paul Miller Ford Mazda, Reks, Shelter Insurance, Specialty Foods Group, and by UK Healthcare.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Cliff Hagan Stadium and another edition of the Gary Henderson Show. I'm Brian Milam, and this is show number 7, which means we only have a couple of weeks left before the regular season and time to catch fire going into the SEC tournament.
Well, it's like it is every year, Brian. It comes down to the last 2 or 3 series, and we've got 3 in front of us. We got Carolina at home, we go to Ole Miss, and then we got Missouri here, and it's time to play well.
What's the attitude like right now? We've hit a little bump in the road the last couple of weeks. The attitude of the kids right now is what?
Well, it's great, but we won the first 4 series, and we've lost the last 3, and we got 3 left, and we got to get back on the right side of it.
One thing that has been impressive this year has been the pitching of Kyle Cody. He has been money in Game 3, especially the last month or so, and he really caught fire at the end of last year also.
Well, he did, and we're glad to get him back there doing it again. I think we're 6-1 on SEC Sundays. I think that's right, and the club feels good running Kyle out there. Of course, I think we feel good running all 3 of those guys out there, but on Sunday, knowing that you got Kyle going for you, we feel good.
Another guy who has come on as of late, and you really need him to, is Javon Shelby.
Well, Javon had a great start and then hit a rough patch there for about 4 weekends, and now the last couple weekends have been dramatically better. And, when you have that type of talent and that type of power, he can really help propel you forward and, almost carry you single-handedly with that type of home run power. And so we need him to continue to see it well and swing at strikes.
Another feature we will have on the show today is about Zach Reks and his journey to Lexington, but another guy who has been lights out, especially defensively, Evan White. He has made the spectacular play look routine sometimes.
Well, yeah, we have some infielders that should be buying him dinner regularly. He has been tremendous at first base. He's really improved his overall game offensively, but from start to finish, he's really had a strong year at first base.
When we come back, we will take a look at Game 3 of the Auburn series, and then later on we will go inside the glove of Evan White. That's next on the Gary Henderson Show. Welcome back to the Gary Henderson Show. This past weekend, the Wildcats went on the road to Auburn to play in Plainsman's Park. And once again, the Cats having to salvage Game 3. The Bats came alive in Game 2 and Game 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights.
All of a sudden you don't play as well as you think, and you
smacks that one deep left center field. That's going to be off the base of the top of the wall. A run will score easily as White comes home. Over to third on the play is Reks, and the Wildcats strike first. It's now 1-0 Kentucky.
I was going to say, it's easy to start pressing and trying to make it happen. He didn't do any of those things right there.
Fastball, he challenged him, and Mahan makes him pay. RBI single to left. Shelby touches home. Greer jumps on the first one he sees with a flare and an over-the-shoulder sliding catch by Hetty. Beautiful play. 2-1 delivery. Golfed high and deep to right field. Ebert going back, and it is out of here. Second home run of the year for Zach Reks.
Look for and why he hired Doug Sisson.
Hit hard to right, and a diving catch made by Hairston. Boy, we've seen some good defense in this game early on. Payoff pitch, breaking ball, and a beauty. And he's throwing to first with a purpose, and he got him. Shelby is 1 for 3, a ringing double off the wall, and this one is headed right toward the monster again. Back, and off the wall, just above Bergreen, who tried a leaping catch, can't come away with it. A run scores to tie it up. Shelby into second with his second double, and it is now 6-6 here in the 7th inning. High
high and deep to left. Curving and going foul. Plenty of distance for Shelby.
Hard to tell from that angle. You could see the ball, and in that angle, it did appear to go over the foul pole.
Mark Chapman will go in to take a look. It's going to be a home run. Left side, what a play by Shelby. His throw to first in time. Oh, what a play by Javon Shelby. 1-0 Kentucky.
Rain also generates a lot of torque, I'm sure.
Perfect pitch.
That'll get home at least one. It'll get home two. And Kentucky has a 3-1 lead. A 2-run single for Evan White. Big pitch by Cody for the second out.
Up and in with a fastball at 93. No chance. No chance.
Strike three called inside corner. Kyle Cody is in the old rocking chair right now.
Through the left side. He did it the last time, and he delivers here again. 3 runs batted in on the day for White, and it's a 5-1 Kentucky lead, and still nobody out.
Where they've had to use the replay, but typically it hasn't gone well.
That ball is hit very deep to left, and it's a home run. A 3-run homer for Shelby down the line.
No need for replay on that one.
Oh. And it hit him, right? No, it hit the bat. Runner was out at home. Another run comes home. He's safe. Nope, he's going to be thrown out of the ball game. They throw Dees out of the ball game for his collision at home plate.
And now they're going to have to separate both teams.
When we come back, we have an in-depth look at a unique situation. Zach Reks, how he got to Lexington, is an amazing story. That's next on The Gary Henderson Show. Thanks for staying with us on the Gary Henderson Show. Let's take a look at Zach Reks. He has been something of a surprise this season for the Wildcats, and his journey to the UK lineup rather unusual. UK relief pitcher Bo Wilson and Reks were teammates at Air Force, but then both transferred to Lexington. But Reks did not play baseball at first.
Honestly, I was just focusing on schoolwork, just focusing. I was doing mechanical engineering and just getting through it and just doing school and doing co-ops with Toyota, and I was always watching baseball. I just never thought I could actually play.
No! Right over the 370 sign. Reks blast one out of here.
Then one day, Wilson brought Reks to Cliff Hagan Stadium just to get in some long toss.
It all started with getting an opportunity with Coach Eckstein, and he saw me right outside of the stadium.
Bo Wilson has a scooter, and Zach was riding the back of the scooter, and when he got off, just the way he was moving, the way kind of he was walking, I asked him, I said,
"Hey, you look like you could play some baseball." And
I said, "You've played ball before, haven't you?" And he said,
"Yeah, I can kind of play. I mean, I could try to again. I mean, I haven't played in 2 years in Division I level, but I'll try."
Well, Reks has done a lot more than just try. He has been killing the baseball, especially when you consider a 2-year hiatus from the game.
It's base knock for Reks. Good piece of hitting on a 1-2 count.
His swing has changed some, but for the most part, it's still Zach Reks. He had a good swing at Air Force, and it's just gotten better since then.
Yeah, I saw a swing that could really match up. I saw
2-1
strength.
delivery, golfed high and deep to right field. Ebert going back, and it is out of here. A 2-run shot, just the second home run of the year for Zach Reks.
I saw an ability to make an adjustment.
And in the count 2-0. Inside out, does it get down? Yes, it does.
I saw the way his mind worked after talking with him.
Now Reks sends one to the gap again.
The UK left fielder is batting .330 with 2 homers, 5 doubles, and 15 RBI. He also has more walks than strikeouts.
Ray, a run will score, and that's an RBI double for Zach Reks.
For as good as Reks has been at the plate, he's also been dynamite in left field.
Hit hard, Reks got it. Nicely done by Zach Reks, the Kentucky left fielder.
And while it might be a surprise to outsiders the success Reks has had, he says he knew he could do it all along.
I'm not surprised because I've worked really hard in the off-season, and I'm just getting after it in the off-season and trusting my skills and just trusting my abilities as a player, and I'm not surprised at all.
Zach Reks has certainly been a surprise to a lot of people this year. Another guy, though, who has not been a surprise is All-American candidate Evan White at first base. In fact, he's been so good, a lot of people think we should be interviewing his glove because he has saved the Wildcats a lot of errors at first base, and he has made the spectacular play look routine. What's it like to have a guy like Evan White at first?
Man, that's my boy, man. Evan White, man, he's a genie over there at first base. You know, you make a bad throw and he makes it look easy. So, I mean, half my throws, I give credit to Evan for him, you know, and I think Riley would say the same thing, too.
There's the pick by Evan White.
Evan White made a name for himself last year as a Gold Glove candidate. He's had almost 1,000 chances at first base, and he's committed just 2 errors. Plays like this put him on the national scene.
White backhands, watch his backhand, keep it in front, drops it once, keeps his composure, a perfect flip. Brown beats him to the bag, and what a play for Kentucky.
You know, it's kind of just, instinct, I guess. You know, you don't really practice those. Practice something like that. You're throwing in the backyard with your dad, make a bad throw, you just kind of go after it. So it's kind of one of those things, and, it's something I try to practice too much because it doesn't happen too often. So.
How about the stop by Evan White? Strecker covers, and we've bragged on his defense all night long, and this is why.
Yeah, I see an elite defender. Obviously, there isn't anything Evan can't do on a baseball field.
He's one of the best I've seen in all the years I've been covering college baseball.
What he does with the glove at first base has really been beneficial for us in many ways. He's definitely saved us a lot of runs, and the way he picks the ball and how he keeps his composure and he stays calm under pressure.
Weekend SEC series. Coleman, right side, glove by White. Get up, take it to the bag for the second out. Good play.
Nomura. Bouncer over the mound. Shortstop Riley Mahan behind the bag. Low throw picked out nicely, and there we see it from Evan White on the other end, saving his shortstop.
What would your glove say if it could talk? Because you're only as good as your glove, and the glove's only as good as you.
That's a good question as well. I would say just talk about how much it enjoys playing defense. It enjoys being out there and helping the team in any way it can. So that's about it.
That's a big league glove right there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's.
Look at that.
It costs you a little bit of change to get that glove there.
Do you have just one glove, or do you have a couple?
I have 2. The one that I use now in games, stuff like that, and then the one from last year that I use, and both are very kind to me. They've been very good to me, and I'm very thankful for those 2 gloves. And I'll always own and stuff like that. So it's been fun to use them and everything like that. But I think the one I used last year is kind of on its last leg. I don't know if I'll be able to use it anymore. So
he's good as advertised when you talk about him fielding his position down at first base.
The sky's the limit for Evan.
When we come back on the show, it is our Retro Coaches Tip of the Week with Keith Vorhoff. Stay with us.
My name is Keith Vorhoff. I'm the volunteer assistant here at the University of Kentucky. We're joined with first baseman, left-handed pitcher, A.J. Reed. And A.J. is going to demonstrate covering first base on a right side ground ball, as well as his perspective of the first baseman fielding a ground ball on the right side of the infield and flipping it to a covering pitcher. When a ball's hit to the right side of the infield, the first baseman fields it, there's nobody there to cover first base. So what we need to make sure is that the pitcher does a great job of recognizing that ball to the right side of the infield, getting off the mound quickly so that he can beat the batter runner to first base, cover first base, then the pitcher, or excuse me, the first baseman can flip it to the covering pitcher. getting over on the right side ground ball. He's going to hustle on over. First base is going to feed him a flip. He's going to catch the ball, and he's going to touch the first base bag. It's really, really important from a safety standpoint that he touches the inside part of the base here as he catches the ball. That way, if it's a close play and we have a runner coming through at the same time, we avoid a collision. Okay, and one thing that we always practice every time that we do the drills, the PFP, the pitcher fielding practice, is to make sure our guys have the habit of once they catch the ball, they turn inside to look for a possible runner that's behind the play. Maybe the runner starts at second. If once we catch, we turn and create the habit of checking the runner. If that batter or the runner that starts at second base is trying to advance an extra base or takes a wide turn, we're prepared to make a following play. Since AJ is a left-handed pitcher, it's very important that the first baseman make sure that he give him a good feed out in front because the glove is on his right hand. So if he throws it behind him, it makes that play particularly difficult. But if we lead him with a good throw out in front, it's towards his glove hand side. A right-handed pitcher is a little different in the sense that the right-handed pitcher, you just need to make sure you throw it up, chest high, head high, so that they can see it well and get their glove on it. If it's a little behind a right-hander, they can typically make that play. But with a left-hander, it's extremely important, especially if the first baseman is even with the baseline, that he leads him out in front. That way, that ball to his glove hand side is a much easier play with that pitcher on the run. Again, we appreciate AJ Reed joining us with today's coach's tip for the right side ground ball from the perspective of the pitcher, as well as the perspective of the first baseman.
When we come back, we will wrap up this edition of the Gary Henderson Show with our plays of the week. Stick around. It's time to check out our plays of the week, and we begin with defense.
Jumps on the first one he sees, little flare, and an over-the-shoulder sliding catch by Hetty. Beautiful play. 2-1 delivery, golfed high and deep to right field. Ebert going back, and it is out of here. A two-run shot, just the second home run of the year for Zach Reks. And Auburn has fallen behind heavy in the early part of this game.
Look for and why he hired Doug Sisson.
Hit hard to right, and a diving catch made by Hairston. Boy, we've seen some good defense in this game early on.
He's going to have a tough time figuring it out against Dustin Beggs.
And he's throwing to first with a purpose, and he got him. 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and that's all she wrote. Dustin Beggs, the salad. That's the difference.
High and deep to left. Curving and going foul. Plenty of distance for Shelby. It's going to be a home run. Left side, what a play by Shelby. His throw to first in time. Oh, what a play by Javon Shelby.
Haven't seen it often where they've had to use the replay, but typically it hasn't gone well.
That ball is hit very deep to left, and it's a home run. A three-run homer for Shelby down the line.
No need for replay on that one.
There are only 2 weeks left of the regular season and only 2 more weeks for the Gary Henderson Show. We'll see you next week at Cliff Hagan Stadium.
Play ball! The Gary Henderson Show was brought to you by the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety, Papa John's, Paul Miller Ford Mazda, P-Rats, Shelter Insurance, Specialty Foods Group, and by UK Healthcare.